Okay, this next one says find the exact value of sine of theta and tan of theta if cosine of theta is negative 2/3. And then they also tell us that the angle is between pi over 2 and pi. So there's a couple of different ways that we can start this. The first thing that I'm going to do is figure out which quadrant we're in. A, S, T, C. All students take calculus. So we're in this quadrant right here. How do I know that? Because this is pi over 2, and this is pi. And right here, they tell me that theta is between those two angles. So we got to be in this quadrant right here. And that matches up with what is given here. Cosine is negative. And notice only sine is positive in that quadrant. So now what I need to do, and what that's going to help me do, is that tells me that sine is a positive number, because I'm looking for sine, and that tan is going to be a negative number, because I'm also looking for tan here. So let's go ahead and do this. What I'm going to do now, if I know cosine of theta is a negative 2 over 3, notice I left the negative out front because it doesn't really matter for what we're doing right now. This is the adjacent side, and this is the hypotenuse, because cosine is a over h. So what I'm going to do is draw a little right triangle. May or may not wind up being to scale. And I'm going to go ahead and make this side 2, because that's adjacent to the theta. And then I'm going to make this side up here 3, because that's the hypotenuse. So I need to find this length right here in order to do sine and tangent. So what I'm going to do is use Pythagorean Theorem. That gives me x squared. Make sure you do the legs squared added. X squared plus 2 squared. X and 2 are the legs, is equal to 3 squared. Why is it 3 squared over there? Because that's the hypotenuse. This is an A, this is a B, and that's a C in Pythagorean Theorem. Gives me x squared plus 4 equals 9. Move the 9 over. X squared equals 5. Square root x equals root 5. So from there, I need to find sine of theta. And that is, notice, from this work up here, we know it's positive. So I'm going to go and draw my fraction bar and leave it positive. All right. And then here, let's also go ahead and erase this x and write root 5. So it is, this is my opposite. Maybe I'll change colors. This is opposite. This is hypotenuse. And this is adjacent. So sine is O over h. So opposite is root 5. Divided by hypotenuse is 3. And that's it. That's all we got to do. If there was a root in the bottom, I'd want to rationalize it. So the next one is, go back to purple. Oops, not that purple. So cosine, no, I already know cosine. I'm looking for tangent, right? Tangent of theta is, notice from this conclusion up here, it's negative. So I'm going to write a negative. And then I'm going to write my fraction bar. All right, what is the opposite? Remember, because cotangent is O over A from TOA. So what do we get? Opposite is root 5 over adjacent is 2. And it's negative. So those are the two things I'm looking for. The key is that this one's positive and that one's negative. And that we get all of our side lengths right. So there you go.